Tonight we are entering very important festival, and in my book, The Mystic Glory of Sabbath and Festivals, which you can get in my site, GlazersonBooks.com, Glazerson.com, and also on Amazon. So this is a book. It really came out a while ago, a few editions by Feldheim. And this is a new edition, and I bought it again because the interest is great to know what are the deep meaning and significance of our festivals, not as people know superficially, about this festival in the secular world. No, they have nice songs. Tu Beshvat הגיע חג לילה. No, Tu Beshvat came is a festival for the trees, but what it means, what is behind, unfortunately, far away of it. So, in my books, in the Kabbalah, the pupil of the Arir, Chaim Vital, Sfardi, Rabbi Palaji, a lot written about it. A lot behind this festival and a lot of ideas behind to do with secrets of the Torah, with the tree of knowledge. So this is really what I brought in my book. And I will tell you some of these ideas, very important, because about the simple meaning of this festival, which is really the seasonal significance of Tu B'Shvat. About it, I told you if you followed my YouTube table, really, Tu B'Shvat. This year, very interesting one. So now I go to tell you ideas from my book. As I said, you can get it in Glazerson.com or Amazon. So, very important because it's unfortunately also about Shabbos, about other festivals. People have very narrow-minded ideas, what they are, and the real contents of them are missing. So in this book, you will see what are really Purim, what is really Pesach, what is really Sabbath. Very important, because unfortunately not knowing this brings people with difficult ideas, means they don't understand, but if you go into it, into the mystical aspect, so you'll understand, because according to Kabbalah, mysticism is the basis of creation. So let us hear some interesting things from my book, Mystical Glory, Shabbos and Festivals. So what we have here. So I'm going to go immediately into the mystical idea of it, as a simple meaning of it. I'm sure if you put in the internet this 15th of Shvat, you'll find a lot. But it's a lot important to know about the deep meanings of these festivals. As I said, very, very important one. So I'm sure that you heard about Adam's sin. You read about it, eating from the tree of knowledge. So this was a very severe sin, and its implication is up till today, unfortunately. In fact, all the process of creation of the Messiah is really the restoration, the rectification of this sin, frightening. So it means there is something behind. And there are stages in which we are rectifying, correcting this sin, and one of them is definitely the eating fruits on Tu B'Shvat. This concept finds expression during this time of the year in the eating of many different kinds of foods, and especially, as it is known, the 7 main species for which the land of Israel is praised, as we know, the fig, the pomegranate, the olive, the dates. All of them are very much connected with spheres. The spheres, as we know, there are 7 main ones: loving kindness, strength, harmony, and glory in eternity, kingdom, foundation. So it is known there are 7, and Kabbalistically the Ari, Rabbi Zikluya, connects them to the spheres. Like for example, you can go into all of them, but Teina, the fig, represents the lust. No, some say Adam ate from this fig tree. The pomegranate represents strength, pomegranate strength. So there's a lot behind, but basically the idea of the 7 fruits are the 7 spheres, they correspond to the 7 spheres, which also have negative aspects. The negative aspects are like lust, loving kindness in a positive way, helping people, loving people. But in a negative way, this is lust, sexuality. And the same thing also with strength. There is a strength that one uses to break, to destroy the evil forces. But there is also strength want to destroy the good things, So 7 of those species Kabbalistically, mystically represent the 7 spheres. And those are really the 7 nations in Israel, The 7 nations of the Canaanites who are in Israel are the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Hivites, Girgashi. 7 nations are really representing these 7 evil forces. Amazing. The Canaanites represent lust, Hittite strength. Now we're not going to it, but it's an amazing idea, which the Rabbi Isaac Luria says that by eating, sanctifying these 7 foods, kind of foods that we have on Tu Beshvat, by this we like having control of these evil forces that we have today of them, lot of them, amazing. In fact, this is really the commandment, the mitzvah of bikurim. You know what is bikurim? Bringing for these 7 species, for 7 kinds, to the temple, definitely thanking God for giving us a land, fruitful land, and so on. And then we are allowed to eat it, not before. So our rabbis tell us, and the Torah indicates that for the merit of fulfilling this mitzvah of bikurim, first fruits, we deserve having Israel. What has to do with others? So said Rabbi Zikluya, if you control your lust, your evil temptation, evil forces in your body, in your soul, then you will be able to control also those evil nations. So what is this bringing fruits to the temple? It means when you are already having in your field beautiful figs, beautiful dates, beautiful palms, everything beautiful, and you control yourself, you don't eat, you wait to come to the temple to thank God, to bless Him, then you eat it. This is clearly total control of your emotions and your lust and so on. So then you have also control over your nation. But unfortunately, permissiveness allow everything like today we have, like this is a Democrat, allow all these things to do. You can marry a man, you can homosexuality, abortion, everything is allowed, definitely. It's frightening because it's bringing a disaster to the world. This is why the flood came, because of this kind of sins. So this is an amazing idea of eating 7 fruits. And Tisha B'Av, blessing them. He said also the Song of Psalms, Shir HaMalot, before Ishban. So it means we are sanctifying our attributes, our midot, and this is what enables us to control the land, to settle in it properly, not like today, giving back ground to the Palestinians. Important. So this is really the process of eating fruits, blessing them, sanctifying them. And this is really, we start with Tu B'Shvat, interesting. Eating fruits, mainly the 7 ones. There is a custom to eat 15. There is a custom to eat 30 also. Why 30? Because it is known in Kabbalah, there are three worlds: the world of creation, of formation, of action. Yeah, there are more, but these are the three which are connected with the world. And there are three kinds of fruits: fruits with a shell, a fruit which have no shells and no pip inside, and some who don't have shell but you have pip. So they represent the three worlds. It means this one, the creation one, which is the highest. In this world is no shell, no pip inside. But those who have pip but still not shell, the formation. But those who have shell and pip, this is so. And there is a list of this kind of fruits. Yeah, exactly. The grapes and so on is written. We know clearly what are fruits in this shape. So it was a custom by many Kabbalists to eat 30, 10 for each kind, rectifying them. So all of this goes together, very deep ideas. So let us see more about the idea of Tu Beshvat, which is, as I said, is a time to correct the sin of eating the tree of knowledge. According to many opinions, the tree of knowledge was just one of these 7 species. Interesting. And according to others, the fruit from the tree tasted of all 7 species. Eating fruits on the new year of trees in holiness and innocence cleanness and purifies them from the foulness of the serpent which has contaminated them ever since Adam's sin. It is very interesting. So in fact, it is for the fruit, some say, with all the 7. It means that one really could have in it, could taste in it any taste of these fruits. Interesting idea. Rab Tzadok says it really indicates what was, like argument, what was the motive which pushed Adam to sin, to eat, whether it was lust, or it was something like, or what intellectual understanding that is better for him to eat, whatever it is known, if one reads about it. So it's amazing. So basically the 7 fruits have to do with the tree of knowledge that we are rectifying. So the restoration of these fruits to their original state is completed on the day the Torah was given, which also is a day when the first fruits were offered to God. This we said, bikurim. During the time when the temple stood, 2 loaves of leavened bread were brought on this day to be offered unto the Lord. The offering of these loaves symbolizes the rectification of Adam's sin. Interesting. Since the tree of knowledge is considered to have produced certain types of wheat, according to the opinion who say it was a wheat, to be witty people, you have to eat wheat. It's written that a baby, like when he is making something, so when he eats wheat, already it gives some its meaning. So interesting, wheat is wisdom, wheat. So the leaven within the loaves represents the evil inclination sublimated and able into accepting the holiness of Torah and even aiding man in demonstrating his devotion to his Holy One. So it's amazing that really this rectification that we start from Tu Beshvat and we carry on, Purim also, the feast of Purim and eating of Pesach, Passover, all are connected. If rectification, the sin of the tree of knowledge, brings us to accept the Torah, in which we already achieved such a high level, controlling all those evil forces and elevating them. Unbelievable. So this is really what we're supposed to be. Now, one should know that the damage caused by Adam's sin of eating from the tree of knowledge is repaired on Tu B'Shvat. Rabbi Tzadok HaKohen claims that this idea is expressed by the letter Tzadik. Now, if you followed my YouTubes about zodiacs each month, I give a lecture about the zodiac, the meaning of the month. So we saw that according to the book of formation, which really relates to Abraham, every month was created with a letter. And there is a reason exactly why this letter, if you follow my YouTubes about those lectures, so you'll realize and understand it. So the letter of this month is Tzadik. Yeah, the letter Tzadik. Also, meaning righteous, yeah, Tzadik or righteousness, Tzedek. So Rabbi Tzadok HaKohen notes that according to the book of creation related to Abraham, the month of Shvat was created with the letter Tzadik. It is also the letter representing the righteous person, who is characterized, among other things, by the fact that he eats in holiness, as is stated in the book, yeah? The righteous one eats until his soul is sated. Now it's written in Hebrew, Tzadik ochel lesoba nafsho, a righteous person eats unto his soul, and to be sated, to be satisfied, not more than this, yeah? So amazing. This is a verse from Proverbs. So amazing. This is exactly what should be during this time. This is suggesting that the improvement in habits of eating is a main task during the month of Shvat. This is shown by the theme of the central holiday of this month, Tu B'Shvat. This is the meaning of the word Tu. In Hebrew, Tu is Tetvav, yeah? Tetvav is 15, the two letters, and the Shvat is a month. So, as I said, very important month, and especially the 15th of this month, and eating foods is a blessing, and realizing this is from God, thanking God for it, saying, you know, the custom is to say the Song of Psalm, Shir HaMa'alot, on each fruit, yeah? Before eating each fruit, there are 15. If you know, there are 15 Shir HaMa'alot, 15 songs of Psalm, of, yeah? 50 songs of steps, or how you call it, a different way, because the Ma'alot means steps, yeah? And there's about 15 steps in the temple dividing between the men section and the women. So 15 is a very significant number. Also we said 15, Yud K represent wisdom 10 and understanding 5, yeah, very known idea. And this wisdom and understanding create knowledge, and this is what we are rectifying. So it is interesting to see in all these customs of Tu B'Shvat a lot behind the idea of the tree of knowledge. So the repentance really and setting aright of Adam's sin, according to our holy books, comes through the study of the oral Torah. Very interesting. For the oral Torah, Torah Sheba'al Peh, contains ample wisdom to appease God's righteous anger. As King Solomon indicates in Ecclesiastes, where there is more wisdom, there is more wrath. So what is the idea? So Rabbi Tzadok said a wonderful idea. He explains that the analogy between the Torah and water applies mainly to the oral Torah. He cites the verse, Lo, you thirst come to water. So God said, yeah, you people who are thirsty, come to water. On which our sages explain, water is none other than Torah. This verse, he maintains, is referring to the oral Torah. The oral law, Torah Sheba'al Peh, this is the Talmud, definitely the Gemara, the Midrash. This is what he said. This is the oral law which requires long and tedious hours of study. But in the end, this study purifies man from the defilement of Adam's sin. It is the oral law which was begun to be revealed in Deuteronomy on the first day of Shvat. It is known this was the time when Moses starts saying the book of Deuteronomy, which is called really like the beginning of the oral Torah, because all the others are directly from God. This one was Moses said in the name of God, but this is exactly what is oral Torah when rabbis are connected to the laws. So the important thing, this oral Torah, learning Torah Shebaal Peh, in yeshivot and so on, definitely learning it properly, purifies the man, cleanses the neshama, his soul. So this is a purification of the whole body, which the oral law affects is seen in the holy and pure eating, which is revealed within the profound meaning of Tu Bishvat, the new year for foods 3. Now what is interesting is that rabbis, Chiddushei Harim, say that you could feel clearly on the month of Shvat that the new ideas in Torah, Chidushim, new things that they discovered somehow are different from all the others. It means that there is some kind of spirit of renewal on this month. Renewal, like the renewal of the fruits, A man is compared to fruits. The Torah says, Adam is a sadeh. A man is like the tree of the field, So it means the renewal in nature during this time is renewal in spiritual matters, in the Shema. So this is the importance of this day. Bnei Yisachar says something unbelievable. He says that the number of days from the 15th of Shvat to the creation of the world, which was the 25th of Adar, it is known that the creation of the world, the pregnancy started on Tishrei, Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is called Hayom Harat Olam, the day of pregnancy. But practically it came out 25th of Adar, a few days before Nisan. Nisan is the time of spring. So if you count the number from Tu Bishvat, from the 15th of Av till the 25th of Adar, so we have half of the month of Shvat, 15 days, and then we have 30 days of Adar, 25 days, Together 40. 40 known to be a very important number. The creation, the build-up of a fetus embryo, 40 days, Our rabbi said that 40 days before man is created up in heaven, he's already decided who will be his color, his white, okay, you can lose it also, but whatever it is, it means that 40 days before is like preparation for creation. Unbelievable. So Tu Bishvat really is a time that we start preparing. Unbelievable. There is a stage of Purim in between, and then comes Pesach. All of them really are emphasized by eating, because in Purim is a great mitzvah to have the meal of Purim, but they have to be done in purity and holiness, sanctity. And the same thing, Pesach, we are taking the Seder, the Matzah and more, all of them are really part of the rectification of the sin of the Esadah, the tree of knowledge. Then, by rectifying it, we come to the creation. It means the world was created, Adam really, basically, it's better to say, was created on the 1st of Nisan. So if you count the days from Tu Bishvat till Nisan, the Rosh Chodesh, other 5 days, you have how much? 45 days. 45 days is a Gematria of Adam, Aleph 1, Dalet Mom, and 40, because this is creation of man. Man, really creation, basically start for Tu Bishvat, amazing. And also the numerical value of redemption, Geula, also 45, right? Our Rebbe said that in Nisan, Jews were redeemed from Egypt in the past, and they will be redeemed in future, by doing repentance, rectifying the sin of Adam, because otherwise, you have to wait to rectify it. So, very, very important time. So, as I said, there are many more ideas behind Tu Beshvat, 15th of Shvat, and you can read it in my book, Mystical Law in Shabbos of Festivals, yeah. Worthwhile reading also what is Shabbos, yeah. People don't understand what is Shabbos, really. What is Purim, if you read a lot. So, you can get it, as say, my site, glazerson.com or glazersonbooks.com. You can get it on Amazon, definitely can get it also in Kindle, reading it, if you don't have money to buy. So, interesting and important book, and I think important lecture, really, to show you the insight, the beauty of this festival coming tonight. This is the 15th of Shvat, Tu Beshvat.